All right, we are back
So,
on.
and that is how you make
Yeah.
$1 million, George.
Is that how you
It's
do
very
it?
simple.
Is that how you do it?
I hope all you people caught everything I was saying in the meantime.
That's how you make. That's how you make $1 million.
Yes.
I would have not known pretty much how to do
Yeah.
that. I just know that basically from what I see. So anyway, we are doing it to you, ladies out there. Bahamas trip. You know it's true. We're doing it soon. Chance to go with Gigi to the Bahamas. Bring your gear. Bring your swimming gear. And bring your sexy lingerie. Now,
Or better yet, don't. Just come naked.
yeah, or come naked. And then after that, we'll go to the news colony together, and we'll go ahead and be a couple. We'll go to the news colony together and be a couple. So, Kevin, did you watch the Super Bowl?
Yes, I did, and I saw Tom Brady just disgrace himself.
Yeah.
Does he always have to win? It was very rude and vulgar what he did. He should have let the Kansas City Chiefs win a second time.
Yeah. Well, because basically basically, that we know who the GOAT is, and the best quarterback that's ever played the game is coming from a Cowboy fan. It's coming from a Cowboy fan. The best quarterback that's ever played the game is the GOAT. 7 rings, and he ain't going to retire. He's going to go for number 8 next year, too.
Not Roger Staubach?
He'll go for number 8 next year. What's that?
He's better than Roger Staubach? And Dandy Don Meredith?
Well,
And Troy Aikman?
I
All
mean,
those wonderful...
look at the rings. Look at the rings. I mean, rings.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I don't know if Liberace's, I have no idea. Of course, these trolls out there would know about Liberace. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, well, trolls
Now,
know about Liberace.
I understand that this is big news for you. You have a best-selling book coming out soon.
I have a book that is completed.
There you go.
What is causing all this, and I forgot to even mention about it earlier, but yes, what is causing all this is the book. And it is now going to be looked at. It's going to be perforated. It's going to be fingered all around. And it's going to be smelt after it gets rubbed next to the person's vagina. Vagina, then china, and then langina and scoranja. And it's going to be rubbed all together, and it's going to be a nice smelling act, potpourri. We're going to smell it, we're going to sniff it, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a great book.
So this book is going to be sold at porno...
Well,
book houses.
we know that there's a book, but there's also a place for scratch and sniff. It's a place for scratch and sniff, so you'll be able to read the book, and then you'll be able to have a place where you see the actual hair, and you wonder, whose hair is that? Well, it's your mama's hair. Scratch it. Or whose hair is that? Well, it could be your granny's or your girlfriend's hair. Scratch it. Then smell it. Then kiss it. And then keep reading my book. Then when it comes to another scratch and sniff, you never know what pubic hair will be on that page. There's 4 different scratch and sniffs in my book with different pubic hair glued to the actual pages.
Now this book is going to be sold at the bargain table at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, it's going to be sold at Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, and your local voucher and your local dentist.
The dentist.
Yeah.
Right next to the Highlights for Children magazine.
Yes.
Who
And
isn't
we
gone?
want the children to read it.
Yeah.
We want the children to read, and then when the child comes to you, he says, "Mommy, I just read what's causing all this from Gorgeous George, but there's a thing in here that's full of hair. Whose hair is this?" Well, now, as a parent, you'll have to explain to your child that it's someone's hair.
Now, you actually wrote this book. You didn't have a ghostwriter write it for you.
I wrote the book.
Okay, so you've written more books than you've actually read at this point in your life.
Well, let me just say this to you, that I'll be reading this book quite often.
Yes. Okay.
Because it's my world.
Yes.
Other books I don't have an interest in because it doesn't have nothing to do with me. Since this has something to do with me, and it's in the positive vein, I'm going to be reading the book pretty much. And I will be scratching and sniffing in the 4 spots of the book that I've perforated out.
It's the first book ever with a centerfold.
Yeah. And I wonder who the centerfold is. Ladies, I know you're waiting with bated breath, and you're waiting with anticipation that causes constipation, which leads to infatuation, then can cause masturbation. Both are all those bations and rations. You'll just have to wait and enjoy the ride once you get what is causing all this. And once you know what's causing all this, then that's half of the battle. Baby.
Yeah.
Half of the battle.
You should use with that slogan. You should run for presidency of France. Egalite, fraternité, infatuation, flatulation, masturbation.
Everybody flatulates sometime. What's that REM song? Everybody flatulates sometime.
Yeah, I love that really cool guy that sings for REM.
Yeah.
Oh, and all that trim he must get.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like going to the whorehouse. You have they listen that all our girls are going to stand in one single line. They're going to name their name one time only. You only have 1 minute to pick which one you want. And they all stand in line to give their name, and you look at them and say, oh, she's got saggy tits. Look at her. Oh, her tits are kind of perky, but she's got a big mold on her chin. Yeah. And out of the 12, you have to be up there and stand which one you want. And they all stand in line. They give their name. I said, I'll take that one over there with the big watermelons. I'll take the one over there with the big watermelons and the papaya.
Now, is that like at the not the nudist colony you went to?
No, that's the whorehouse.
The whorehouse.
That's the best whorehouse in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
They stand in line.
Oh yeah.
Best whorehouse in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And then when you're there, now she says now.
The chicken ranch.
Yeah, well that's no longer called the chicken ranch. So when you're there, she'll say now, I don't know whether I should go ahead and look at this and examine this. Do you want me to examine yourself and examine your monster? I said, well, yeah, you can examine. So it's just like there. I said, damn, now you're a monster. That's a big thing. And you want to put that in a certain spot? That's humongous. I said, look, do anything you will. Do what you like with it. You can borrow it like borrowing the keys to the Porsche. But if anything you do, don't demasculate it. Please don't demasculate it. And please don't sever it from its owner. Just play with it like it's an infant.
Like a doctor.
It's like
your doctor.
Yeah. And that's how that goes basically.
Actually, did you get that white shirt, a white coat from a doctor? You could actually go into the.
I could use this in a whorehouse.
Examining room and all the girls.
I could use this in a whorehouse, and they can look at me and with wonder and delight. But I have to. Yeah. Well, we don't talk about that till the time. We got to keep that under wraps now. We don't talk about all that. But gerbils, we don't like. I don't know. I mean, gerbils are nice in their cages. We don't want them. We don't want to. I don't want you to come over, and have that thing clutch your ass cheeks. I don't want that.
Siegfried and Roy died a couple of weeks. The Siegfried died. Roy died last year. So now no more Siegfried and Roy.
Which one got molested by the tiger?
The one last year, Roy. Siegfried died.
Roy got molested by the tiger.
The other guy that didn't get mauled by the tiger.
Siegfried died when?
Just like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Siegfried died 2 weeks ago.
And let me tell you something.
And he got molested by what? The COVID or what?
Yeah, I think it might have been COVID.
Might have been COVID.
But what was weird was I remember they once gave an interview and they said, how do you make all those like gigantic lions and tigers disappear? He goes, well, we started small. We started with gerbils. And we went on.
Well, let me tell you something.
Big lions and tigers disappear.
We've already talked about the front end of it with Lorena Bobbitt. Well, I'll tell you the story.
Yeah.
Just to kill some time here. You know how what happened with Lorena Bobbitt. We know about that, and then it was found at a grocery store, and some old lady was with her walker walking, and she
Lorena
was like,
Bobbitt,
and some old lady picked it up and looked at it, and she said, "Oh my goodness gracious!" And she thought that she found Peter. She thought she won the fucking lottery. She said, I've got to turn this back into its owner, but I don't really want to because I could use it. And she said, I'm perplexed. I don't know what to do. Do I use it as a dildo or do I return it to its proper owner? So she goes to the grocery store, and she's ready to pay for her stuff. And then she's holding this thing in her hand. Said, ma'am, where did you get that from? Put it down. She said, well, I found this outside in the parking lot. It must belong
Marina threw it out the window.
It must belong to someone that needs it.
Yeah.
Said, hold on, we'll call the police. The police came by there. We talked to the old lady. She said, officer, I have this thing in my hand, and I didn't know what to do with it. I have it right here. I want to turn it back to its rightful owner. I said, ma'am, please, put it right here in this bag. Well, yeah, but I don't know what to do. I might want to use it, but I'm perplexed. No, ma'am, you did the right thing by calling us. Put it in the plastic wrap. Thank you very much. And we'll return it. So then, it got returned to, to John Bobbitt. John Bobbitt got to put it on, and he started doing porn. And he had a crooked dick. And a crooked dick and all that. So now...
No, anything crooked about it.
Crooked dick. I don't know.
His whole reputation was crooked.
So now, Richard Gere did it on the opposite end. He was, he wanted to, he wanted to look around and see see what's there. And so he decided, the feel of a gerbil or a squirrel up his ass. So he didn't know what that felt like. So, he had, the fucking gerbil, was it a squirrel or a gerbil?
It was a gerbil.
And the gerbil ate his ass out.
Yeah. Well,
so he had to go to the hospital, and they said, "Listen here, I was just practicing on this animal. Is this animal is it still alive?" They said, "No, it just died. It just ate you out whole." And then
I heard some crazy stuff.
So it's back end and front end. So these gay people, these trolls out there do that to each other.
I heard
eat their asshole.
I heard that there was a movie with Sylvester Stallone and Richard Gere. It was called The Lords of Flatbush, and he was a terrible actor in those days. He's a better actor now, but Sylvester Stallone got him fired, Richard Gere, and he was acting like a prima donna, and they hate each other. And Richard Gere to this day thinks that Sylvester Stallone spread the rumor about the gerbil.
All right.
There's no real evidence that it ever happened, but according to Stallone, it doesn't matter whether it happens or not. When you think of Richard Gere, that's what you think of.
Yeah, and so he killed a living thing. The thing went down. That thing ate him clean, and it killed the animal. It's like a damn if a bee stings you, then it fucking dies. But this thing ate him whole, and then so he was that's cruelty to animals.
Yeah.
Have that thing that's stuck up your ass.
Yeah.
I can say it's stuck up your ass.
Imagine Michael Vick, cruelty to animals.
Yeah. Well, of course.
He would.
Whatever he did was just total opposite.
When's he going to make his comeback? I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl with Michael Vick.
I think he's gonna be on the surreal world. I think.
And the Colin Kaepernick, when's he going to come back?
He's gonna be kneeling down. He's gonna be kneeling on one knee, and he's gonna be asking for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Him and Trump are gonna start together. Him and the Donald are gonna get started together.
They should start their own union.
Yeah.
Now that Trump was kicked out of the Screen Actors Guild.
I feel a channel coming on right here. I'm channeling. I just don't know what to believe. This is outrageous that Joe Biden defeated Donald Trump. I just can't believe it. And right before my cancer treatment, I can't believe it. Joe Biden beating Donald Trump. Now I have to inject myself with some hydroxychloroquine.
Let me tell you something. I don't really shed a tear for Rush Limbaugh. I'm glad he lived long enough to see his boy get lose.
Tonight, once again, Bold Rock hard cider. If the rock is not hard enough, definitely it'll make the other one bolder.
Well, he is hard rock.
Make these nuts bolder.
Oh man.
Not older, but bolder.
So we have a new president now. You all excited about that?
Yeah, and
the world seems to be funny. The air is cleaner and the sun is shinier. It's just a nicer time the last few weeks. Now we have a new president.
Yeah. Well, look. At least he's doing what I said he was going to do, and like I knew he was going to do, getting up there opening up the books, reading the fine print, signing. Want that $1,400 stimulus, but he's going to get it done. He's got to repackage it. You'll get our $1,400 stimulus check in direct mail or in the in direct your bank account, and it's going to be good. Joe Biden is a negotiator. He's a diplomat, and he'll do the same thing that Bill Clinton. He will go across the alley and talk to the Republicans. He stood there 2 hours in the White House, or 2 hours in the Capitol building, and sat with the opposing Republicans, trying to make the deal, trying to make make the deal happen. Trump wrote about it, never amounted to anything. Biden didn't write about it. Biden's doing it, and it's going to happen because he has that capability. He's already given help. Even Turtle Man himself is shedding a tear.
But
shedding a tear, you know.
But you're assuming that the Republicans, including the Trump fascist wing, QAnon wing, wants to help the poor people and down and out people. They don't give a damn about anybody but their billionaire friends that get their tax cuts.
It's going to be, he's going to package it, and it's going to work a certain way. He will package it, and for the people that need the money, will get their $1,400 sometime in March, and it will be a good thing.
I'll pay for a month's rent.
And all that being said, the way he's doing it, he's negotiating, he's going across the aisle, communicating, not telling people that, oh, well, you don't need to listen to them. Just take the medicine. Inject the hydroxychloroquine. Drink the bleach. Drink it. Drink it with whiskey.
Obama tried to go across the aisle for like Obamacare and everything, and as it turned out, he got like 3 votes when he should have got more than that. So I think everyone's learning from Obama, including Trump and now Biden, has said, screw the other side. We're going to pass stuff whether we get their help or not, because why should we help them? They're not helping us.
So what it boils down to is, boys and girls, it's simple arithmetic. It's simple equation. You vote, you get it done. You have all these Trumpers that voted. They wanted a recount. You get people voting in droves, and things happen. You get the better candidate, and hopefully Biden will be healthy. Hopefully Biden will be very healthy and serve his 2 terms, his 8 years, and we will have 8 great years with Joe Biden. 8 great years with Joe Biden.
Worse. Those 4 years were like a nightmare. Gosh, I can't even. I just I didn't even want to wake up in the morning. Just put the covers over my head. Do I have to go to work? and believe it or not, even though Trump is gone, at least he's not on Twitter. He's not on Facebook or anything. I took all that away from it. His disciples, all those people, the 45 people that are probably going to vote in his favor. They're going to let bygones be bygones. So what if he sent an angry mob against us at the Capitol to kill us? We can overlook that. Why can't you?
The word you hear the most from these Republicans and these QAnon people is patriot. Look at me very carefully. What happened January the 6th, they weren't patriots. They weren't the patriots from England. They weren't the New England Patriots. They were terrorists. Let me say it again so you can understand closely. Patriots. What happened January the 6th was not patriots. They were terrorists. Terrorism. Domestic terrorism. Not from England and not from New England. Patriots. So this is why the Republican Party has 0 credibility. This is why the Republican Party has 0 credibility, and the ones in there that want to follow the law and follow the Constitution are embarrassed to call themselves Republicans. The ones that do their duly work are embarrassed to call themselves Republicans because they have a bunch of fascists and a bunch of imbeciles running the group, such as Rudy, Trump, and the other radicals in there.
Well, you see what happens is the old style Republican Party and the old timers, they want like a like the Republican Party of Dwight David Eisenhower, that sort of boring type, which is fine. This new, they sort of like said we need votes, so let's just embrace the bigots and the fascists that in America that want, and they'll vote for us, and we'll pretend that giving taxes to billionaires is going to help them and everything. And then what happens? They put all their might behind a real fascist guy, and that our first president is that way. And believe it or not, now that he's gone, those fascists and racists that belong to the Republican Party are still there. People say, whatever happened to the Tea Party? Well, the Tea Party is the Republican Party. So, I always said that Donald Trump was the Frankenstein monster created by the Tea Party, and look what we got.
Okay, he's Frankenstein or Count Dracula?
No, I mean he was cobbled together with the bolts in his neck.
I thought
as if he were
to suck your blood.
Dracula was his own man.
Well, Dracula, he was.
The Frankenstein was created out of spare parts to be the guy that they want.
That was Herman Munster. Yeah,
Herman Munster was the Frankenstein.
But I mean, Count Dracula wanted to suck your blood.
Let me tell you something about Herman Munster. He would have been a better president than Donald Trump.
Who was the grandpa? Your grandpa?
Al Lewis.
Yeah, you think grandpa would have been a good president?
I think.
How about the Penguin, Burgess Meredith?
No, all those Batman villains pretty much came to power during the Trump presidency.
Right.
None of those guys.
Okay.
But
so no Burgess
and
or
Caesar or Frank Gores, none of those guys.
No, you don't want to.
I would like to see more of Catwoman. That'd be good.
Okay.
But that was it. I guess because Melania was like Catwoman.
Was she?
Okay. The closest thing we had with Catwoman in the. I mean.
So Ivanka was Batgirl.
Yes, she was Batgirl.
Ivanka was Batgirl.
And Jared Kushner, her husband, was
Daddy,
Robin.
Daddy,
was Robin.
We're all going to go to jail.
Yeah.
You're going to go to jail. Don't worry about me. You and your brothers are going to go to jail. I'm going to move to Canada.
But I gotta admit, now that Trump is out for the last few weeks, and how wonderful everyone seems to take this and everything, I don't even want to talk about this. I'm like breathing this rarefied air now that like Trump never existed. The idea that he could always come roaring back if he's impeached. I mean, when he's impeached and not and restored to all his higher glory, he can still run in 2024.
If he doesn't get impeached, then you know he's going to run in 24.
Yeah.
But the question is, people will hopefully have smartened up by then. People will
like I said, there are a lot of fascists and racists still in.
A lot of fascist people out there
in America. We didn't realize. We always assume that people are, all Americans are kind of the same. We might have different views, but we certainly don't want a dictatorship in America. And then we found, maybe half the country has no problem with that. Okay. So it's scary. It's scary,
Okay. Well, you're talking about Frankenstein. How about the reincarnation of Hitler? There you go. I mean,
Hitler. Well, you want to say I wouldn't compare him to Hitler, but
he's a little bit nicer than Hitler. Right?
Mexico.
Okay.
People, Hispanics, which surprisingly voted for, a lot of them voted for him in the last election. Mexicans, I mean, they had their families torn apart at the border and everything, and children in cages and all that stuff. Yeah. Is that any different than how a fascist dictator?
I'm just saying. So I mean, so we put him on the same level as Mussolini, then, right?
Well, Mussolini was dragged through the streets at the end.
Mussolini.
And then strung by his heels.
Well, they will put him in the same category as Joseph Stalin.
Stalin was a bad guy. Stalin and Hitler are pretty close, yeah.
So you say, is he a Frankenstein or a reincarnation of Hitler?
I'll tell you one thing good about Trump was he made all these friendships with dictators, and as it turned out, we didn't get any wars with these guys. Maybe he's just whispering in their ear, please don't start a war with us, because we always, think we're going to. You know that Biden actually sent a communique to Putin and said, we're not going to roll over for you like the honeymoon you had for the last 4 years with Trump. We're going to, if you try to invade a country or you try to meddle in our over.
When you met Joe Biden.
I met Joe Biden.
You were as close to Joe Biden like you are with me.
Here, yeah.
Joe Biden like you are with me right now. What did Joe say?
Very well. I mean, I didn't even talk politics. He was talking to everybody, but I didn't want to, take too much. It's basic shit. So I'm voting for him. He was running. He was actually vice president already.
Right.
He was running for vice president for a second term.
You looked a whole lot younger, though.
Well, I mean,
Looked a whole lot younger, and
8 years ago we were all younger.
Well, yeah, I understand, but I mean, but you got a good. Well, who took the shot of him?
That's a good question. I spoke to him, but then he wasn't there to talk to me. He went from just said hello,
Yeah,
and then went
right,
another.
right.
And at that point, after he spoke to me, I gave the camera to somebody. Said, "Take the picture. Make sure we're both in it." And that's the picture. But
So
I mean,
there's other
the
people-
picture of us is like after the fact.
All right, so
we're not really looking.
So
we're
that
not
was
really
here.
together.
That was what, downtown or what?
That was at the Tredegar Ironworks.
Okay.
And it was kind of neat. I think I told you this at the time.
You had other people around there too. There were people that were.
Oh, there was lots of people. I think that's the end.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
No, I mean,
Yeah. I shall be off.
well, I mean, I want to just finish it without
Okay.
it doing that. I mean, goddamn. I mean, how many times is it going to do that?
No.
All right.